Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome. So glad that you are here. I am excited because today I'm going to share with you exactly how I transformed my mindset from a broke, homeless, single mom living in a woman's shelter to a seven-figure entrepreneur building an empire, really. I've built several companies, a charity, a church. I've had a lot of fun doing it, and I'm really grateful to be able to share with you exactly how I transform my mindset, because at the end of the day, build an empire is all about strategy meets mindset, right? How do we take the strategies we need in business? There are so many places now that you can go out and learn the strategies that you need to succeed, like the things that you need to do. But when it comes down to it, you're not going to apply any of them or stick with it long enough to see the results if your mindset isn't in the right place. So this is all about mindset meets strategy and how you can transform your mindset in 90 days or less. Now, I am going to, at the end of this video, give you guys a free tool that I use each and every day, not only to transform my own life, my own business, my own mindset, but I've used it to train thousands of people that have gotten radical results. We're talking increases in income of $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 in their first 6 months because of the way they shifted their mindset. I'm talking people who have gone from zero to hero and been able to build businesses, expand their current reach, build their brands, etc. And I'm excited to share it with you. So if you are ready, go ahead and give me a heart or a like. And if you want me to let you in on the secret, drop a comment below that says, give me the tool. Because you guys, I know that if you'll take the information that we're going to talk about today and apply it, you too can transform your mindset. So I'd already said I was a broke, homeless, single mom living in a woman's shelter. So how did I go from that to building several businesses, building a church, traveling the world, speaking on the largest stages in the world, selling $40 million worth of products and services through the sales teams that I built? How did I be, able to take the broken mindset that I had and transform it into a winning mindset? Well, here's exactly how. There was a couple of key things that I did. Number one, I was taught that everything is energy. Absolutely everything is energy. If you have low energy, you're going to have low results. High energy, high results. So I applied that to James Allen. I don't know if you've read James As a Man Thinketh. That's right. James Allen says in As a Man Thinketh that thoughts become things. And I don't know why that impacted me so strong, but think about it in your own life. If you're constantly thinking about something, that something is probably going to come to pass in your life in some form or another. That's why vision boards are so powerful. Setting goals, focusing, tracking, all those things are really important because what we focus on, we bring about. And so when I read that, I thought, wow, that's really true. The problem was that if we're starting with a broken mindset, meaning we don't think like a seven-figure entrepreneur, or we don't think like the person that can do 40 million worth of sales, or if we don't think like the person that can win at whatever game that we are playing, if we don't become the person that can win, we're never going to get there. But how do we go from, not winning to winning? Or how do we go from, $100 in income to 1,000 or 100,000 or $1 million? Well, straight up, the way we do that is by changing the way we think about earning money, about ourselves, about our businesses, and about sales. And so one of the key things in that book that, As a Man Thinketh, what you think about comes about. Think about, your own life. Where have you focused on something super positive and stayed focused on that thing until it came to pass? If you take an athlete, for example, they've done studies that show that athletes, true athletes, when they do the mind studies on them, they literally hook up machines to their brains and they have them run the plays in their head as if they were winning. And guess what? The physical responses in their body are exactly the same as when they're on the court or on the field. Why is that? Because our brains don't know the difference. If we're running the plays in our head, we're running the plays. There's no difference for our unconscious mind doesn't understand whether we're actually doing it or not. And that's why it registers the same way physiologically. So what does that say? That says that if we're talking positively to ourselves, if we're talking forward thinking, if we're thinking in a winning mindset, the reality is our bodies are going to respond as if that thing were already true. which led me to the next thing I learned, which was we've got to call those things that are not as if they already were. We can't just expect that, things are going to happen. We actually have to get out there and make them happen. And so when we're thinking about how to do that, we have to, take into consideration what we want to have happen, what we need to believe for that thing to happen, what it's going to look like when it does happen, and feel the feeling of already having it. When we do that, what happens, of course, is that everything starts to play itself out. So it's super important that we know where we're going, how we want to get there, meaning, we know the actions that we want to take, but more importantly, what do we need to believe to be the person that's going to get that thing? And so finally, what I'd want to say to you guys on this topic was that there's only two ways to change: shock and repetition. Only two ways: shock and repetition. You're either going to get to where you want to go, meaning change your mindset and become that person through shock, meaning something, impacts you, so you have to change. I'm reminded that, if we don't discipline ourselves, life will discipline us, right? So, but the second way is through repetition. Now, repetition, I'm sure you've heard, is the mother of all skill. The problem is that in our lazy human nature, we tend to not want to do things repetitively because we get bored of them. And this is where winners are seriously separated from everyone else. Why? Because if you are a winner, you will do the thing you need to do until it's done. Not while it's working, not if it's working, until it's done. And so when we're doing something like that, we need to make sure that we're aware that the repetition is actually the key to our long-term success. And so I promised you guys a tool today that's going to help you transform your mindset in 90 days or less. It is a phenomenal mindset strategy that will literally help you, if you apply it, change everything about your life in a very short period of time. And so it's Build an Empire Mindset Strategy. You can click the link below, and we'll put it in the comments in the comments below in the post above, so you can go ahead and grab your free copy. But here's the prescription. You've got to read it morning and night. And you don't just read it like a little mouse. Boop, 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 boop. You're actually going to read it like you mean it, right? I am a top producer. Everything I touch turns to gold. I'm a 7-figure business strategist that's expanding my reach globally. Whatever your business statements are, I did give you mine, and you can adjust them as you go. Here's the key. You got to say it like you mean it. You've got to feel the feeling of already having it. Allow that feeling to fill you, because when you start to act and think like the person that's going to get the thing that you want, that you say you want, well, then all of a sudden your actions line up with what you say you want. But when you're like, oh, one day I'll get there, or someday I'll get there, well, you'll never actually get there. So it's super important, okay, that you go ahead and read those out loud. And I don't care if you sound silly, and I don't care if people are listening. So what? They're not the ones that are going to transform your life. They're not the ones that are going to deliver your purpose to the world. You are. So go ahead, read them morning and night out loud, and practice feeling that feeling of having them. If you're down in the dumps, get them out and read them out loud, shout them at the world, and let the world know that you're dead serious about reaching your goals. So that's the mindset strategy, guys. I've used it for 10 years. Well, actually 15 years, but 10 years strategically, meaning like I specifically wrote it out, and have been sharing it with, like I said, thousands of people that have used it to transform their lives. Make more money, attract more clients, get more done, feel better about themselves, and literally deliver their purpose to the world. So with that, you guys, be blessed. Post your comments below. What was your takeaway from today? I want to hear it. And I'm going to comment back and respond to each and every one of you, because here's what I know. I believe you can have, be, and do anything you set your mind to, but we've got to get your mind set on the thing that you say you want. So with that, you guys, be blessed. We'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye for now. Oh, and don't forget that the best conversations happen in the live group. So if you want to, you can go over to the visit group button. Go ahead and click that button on my Facebook page, and it's going to take you into a live group where we do all kinds of stuff. And there's some other free training that you might want to get your hands on. So with that, you guys, be blessed beyond measure, and just know that we are here with you to build an empire. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.